Today, we're delving deep into a pressing issue that affects every corner of our planet: global warming. In this video, we'll explore why global warming is a significant concern, the main factors contributing to it, and most importantly, what actions we can take to mitigate its impact. Stick around because understanding and addressing global warming is essential for the future of our planet. To begin, let's understand why global warming has become one of the most critical problems our world faces today. Over the past century, we've witnessed irrefutable changes in our climate. Rising temperatures, disappearing ice caps, and shifting weather patterns all provide clear evidence of global warming. Global warming is not just an environmental issue, it's a global crisis. It affects everything from weather patterns and ecosystems to economies and human health. The urgency to act is undeniable. The most pressing and dangerous consequence of climate change witnessed on Earth thus far is the increasing frequency and severity of extreme weather events. These events encompass a wide range, including heat waves, floods, droughts, and wildfires, and they pose significant threats to both human populations and ecosystems. For instance, the 2022-2023 heat wave in India and Pakistan resulted in thousands of fatalities and the displacement of millions. The 2021 floods in Germany and Belgium claimed over 200 lives and caused extensive economic damage. The 2020 Atlantic hurricane season broke records with 30 named storms, 14 hurricanes, and 7 major hurricanes. In 2019-2020, Australian bushfires consumed more than 46 million acres of land and destroyed over 2,000 homes, while in 2018, California wildfires scorched over 1.8 million acres of land and devastated more than 10,000 structures. These are just a few examples of the perilous events fueled by climate change in recent years. As the Earth's temperature continues to rise, the frequency and intensity of such extreme weather events are expected to escalate, further imperiling lives and livelihoods globally. Alongside these immediate dangers, climate change also induces long-term repercussions like rising sea levels, mass extinctions, and food shortages, all of which are interconnected and have the potential to profoundly impact human society. It is crucial to recognize that climate change is not a future issue, but a current crisis with real and devastating consequences for communities worldwide, demanding urgent action to curb greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate its effects. Climate change on Earth is primarily driven by human activities that release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat from the sun and cause the Earth's average temperature to rise, leading to various climate-related impacts. Here's why there is so much climate change on Earth. The most significant factor contributing to climate change is the emission of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, CH4, and nitrous oxide, N2O. These gases are released into the atmosphere from various human activities, including the burning of fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, for energy, industrial processes, deforestation, and agricultural practices. The combustion of fossil fuels for energy production and transportation is a major source of CO2 emissions. As the global population grows and economies expand, the demand for energy has increased, resulting in higher emissions. The clearing of forests for agriculture, urbanization, and logging reduces the planet's capacity to absorb CO2 from the atmosphere. Forests act as carbon sinks, and their removal releases stored carbon back into the air. Agricultural practices contribute to climate change through the release of methane and nitrous oxide. Livestock farming, rice cultivation, and the use of synthetic fertilizers are notable sources of these potent greenhouse gases. Certain industrial processes, such as cement production and chemical manufacturing, release greenhouse gases as byproducts. Changes in land use, including urban expansion and land development, can disrupt natural ecosystems, releasing stored carbon and altering local climate patterns. The decomposition of organic waste in landfills generates methane emissions, which contribute to climate change. The reliance on gasoline and diesel fuels in the transportation sector contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions. The rapid growth in the number of vehicles globally has increased emissions from this sector. Some refrigerants used in air conditioning and refrigeration systems, known as hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs, are potent greenhouse gases when released into the atmosphere. Unsustainable land use practices, such as draining wetlands and altering river courses, can exacerbate climate change by disrupting natural carbon and water cycles. It's important to note that these human-induced factors have amplified the natural greenhouse effect, which is necessary for maintaining a habitable temperature on Earth. However, the excessive accumulation of greenhouse gases due to human activities has intensified this effect, causing global temperatures to rise at an unprecedented rate. Reducing climate change to save the Earth involves a combination of mitigation and adaptation strategies aimed at limiting greenhouse gas emissions and preparing for the changes that are already underway. Shift away from fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas, and invest in renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower. This reduces CO2 emissions from energy production. Enhance energy efficiency in buildings, transportation, and industries. Energy-efficient technologies and practices can significantly reduce energy consumption and emissions. Promote the use of electric vehicles, public transportation, and active transportation methods like walking and cycling. This reduces emissions from the transportation sector. Forests act as carbon sinks, absorbing CO2 from the atmosphere. Protecting existing forests and reforesting areas that have been cleared can help mitigate climate change. Implement sustainable agricultural practices, reduce food waste, and promote plant-based diets to minimize emissions from the agriculture sector. Encourage industries to adopt cleaner technologies and reduce emissions from industrial processes. Implement carbon pricing mechanisms such as carbon taxes or cap-and-trade systems to incentivize businesses and individuals to reduce emissions. Transition industries, particularly energy-intensive ones, to cleaner and more sustainable processes. Raise awareness about climate change and its consequences. Education empowers individuals and communities to take action and make informed choices. Collaborate on a global scale to address climate change. International agreements like the Paris Agreement aim to unite countries in their efforts to reduce emissions. Develop and implement strategies to adapt to the changing climate. This includes building resilient infrastructure, protecting coastal areas from sea level rise, and implementing drought-resistant agriculture practices. Invest in research and development of climate-resilient technologies and infrastructure to withstand extreme weather events. minimize waste generation and promote recycling, and reuse to reduce emissions associated with waste management. Invest in research and development of advanced renewable energy technologies to make them more efficient and cost-effective. Enact and enforce policies that promote clean energy, regulate emissions, and encourage sustainable practices. Encourage community-level initiatives and involvement in climate action, including local clean energy projects and conservation efforts. Encourage businesses to adopt sustainable and environmentally friendly practices, reduce emissions, and disclose their carbon footprint. Reduce personal carbon footprints by conserving energy, using energy-efficient appliances, reducing meat consumption, and supporting clean energy options. Consider sustainable and green investments that support clean energy and environmentally responsible practices. Engage in climate advocacy to push for stronger government policies and to address climate change. It's important to recognize that addressing climate change is a global effort that requires cooperation from individuals, communities, businesses, and governments. By taking these actions collectively, we can work towards reducing the impacts of climate change and ensuring a more sustainable and livable planet for future generations. Lastly, let's ponder what the future holds if we don't take action against global warming. Without intervention, we can expect more frequent and severe extreme weather events, causing untold suffering and damage. Rising sea levels and environmental degradation may force millions of people to migrate, leading to conflicts and humanitarian crises. The loss of biodiversity could result in a less resilient planet, with potential consequences for human health, food security, and ecosystem services. However, it's not all doom and gloom. With concerted efforts and global cooperation, we can still make a positive impact on our planet's future. Addressing climate change requires significant efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, transition to clean and renewable energy sources, protect and restore forests, implement sustainable agricultural practices, improve energy efficiency, and raise awareness about the importance of mitigating climate change. International cooperation and policies, such as the Paris Agreement, aim to unite countries in their efforts to combat climate change and limit global warming. In conclusion, global warming is a defining challenge of our time. It's not a problem that can be ignored or delayed. We must act now to reduce emissions, protect our environment, and secure a sustainable future for generations to come. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more informative content to Noaming. Together, we can make a difference.